And welcome back, everyone, to another RLT Pivot podcast. I am so glad that you could join me today. I have an amazing person sitting right here with me. His name is Jose Rodriguez. Unfortunately, Dan can't be here today, but Jose, he was one of our submissions for the contest in February, March for the trading plan. And Jose, I got to say that your trading plan completely and utterly blew me out of the water. I think that it is incredible. In fact, it has inspired me so much that I'm actually going to go and redo mine to encompass and look similar to what you have done. And for our listeners out there, Jose has been so kind to let us actually post this on our site. So we'll be able to post this for you to take a look at. But Jose, please introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about where you live and your trading journey.
Yes, thank you very much for the invitation and your kind words regarding the plan. So yeah, as you said, my name is Jose. I come originally from the north of Spain. Living in Europe, I live at the moment in Sweden. I've been living here for a few years now. And yeah, I used to work as a communications director for a European organization. And yeah, recently I got burned out and decided to quit my job. And I started trading about 1 year ago, let's say. That was my introduction to the market. And it was just by chance, let's say. I was very interested in blockchain as a technology. And yeah, I've been organizing workshops in the past about the topic and all that, but I never got into the trading side of crypto. I was interested in the potential of the technology for other things like governance, etc. And yeah, so one day, it was actually my birthday, I decided to buy like 6,000 euros or dollars of Ethereum. And it was in the moment in which it was going up. So yeah, I was very happy. And suddenly, like 1 month later, it started to go down. I started to lose money. And I started to think, oh, this is more complicated than what I thought. So I started to dig into trading, start reading books, watching YouTube videos. And yeah, I started to buy also other cryptocurrencies. But yeah, at some point, Bitcoin fell down very much. I think it was like May last year. And I sold everything. So yeah, at the end I was balanced, so I didn't lose much money. But that made me think that I needed to really learn to trade and to dig into it. So yeah, that's basically my introduction, how I got into all this.
Well, that's awesome. And are you a real life trading member?
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that was a great discovery for me. I have done like 3 or 4 of your courses.
Okay.
Yes, and I mean, it's been a great inspiration. Also, Jeremy Newsom has been an inspiration for me. And yeah, and I listen to your podcast too. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Now, your
Yes.
trading plan, did you come up with it all on your own or was it inspired from somebody else?
Yes, it's been inspired by many different sources.
Okay.
I'm a person that I need to learn things through my own experience, and I'm a very synthetic thinker, so I read a lot. So yeah, as soon as I decided that I wanted to trade, I started to read a lot. So I don't know how many books I have read in the last year, like 40 or so on trading. So yeah, I was taking ideas from different books, also videos. And yeah, so what you can see in that trading plan is actually a mix and a combination of many different ideas and sources.
Wonderful. Well, for
Mhm.
the people that are just listening to this right now and they can't see us, you've got a table of contents with 6
Yes.
different sections in
Mhm.
your trading plan. And I'm just going to briefly, so section 1 is trading principles. Section 2, goals, objectives, and targets. Section 3 is markets and tools. 4 is money and risk management. 5 is trading strategies. And 6 is your trade management.
Yes.
This is so well laid out. And I really love a lot. Let's talk about section number 1.
Yes.
One of my favorite parts in this, you started out with guiding quotes.
Yes.
Now, these are obviously quotes that you've taken from books that really mean something to you. Are these something that you look at every single day right before you trade, or?
No, no. I would say these are principles that I have more or less in my mind, but I don't check it every day. It's more from time to time. And I think the most important thing is that these are big realizations. When I was learning to trade, I'm still learning. I'm not a successful trader yet. But yeah, these were big moments or milestones in my trading.
I can tell you that you have a road plan to success right here. So even though you aren't currently a successful trader, you will be by sticking to this. This is, like I said, it's a work of art. And
Yes.
these were the big aha moments in books that you've read. They're ingrained in who you are now.
Exactly.
How has that changed before, I guess, when you were originally getting into, say, cryptocurrencies, and after you dove into this, how much of an impact has this part alone had on your confidence and your trading?
You mean these guiding quotes?
Yeah,
Or
the guiding
these?
quotes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, very important. I think the most important one is one by Mike Serre. Don't chase the price, wait for it to come to you. And actually, Mike Serre, I wrote one of his books and then wrote to him. And he ended up coaching me for around 5 months or so. So definitely, I mean, this made me do things out of my comfort zone. And they ended up quite well. So yeah, but maybe I can read a few of them.
Sure.
Trading depends on execution, not on analysis, by Emperor BTC. So yeah, I mean, this was an important moment because I'm a very analytical person. So I tend to overanalyze things. And at some point I realized that trading is just a probabilities game. So I can analyze for hours and hours, but the important thing is, how I enter the trade, how I manage it, and how I manage my risk from the beginning. So this helped me to jump into action.
That's awesome. The next part that you have, and this is just section 1, okay? So motivation. This is your why. This is your reason for trading. And let's talk a little bit about that. So it's fairly straightforward. How deeply rooted are your reasons for trading?
Yes. I mean, I think it's quite common for traders or beginner traders to search for independence. I think in my case, independence means to not depend on an employer. So basically, I'm trading because I would like to diversify my income streams. And I also, because I enjoy very much trading and what comes with it. But some of the things is to build a capital and build wealth in the long term, and to have my own business. That's something that I have always wanted. I'm also a consultant, but this feels more like a business on my own, in which I don't need to depend on external clients. And another motivation is to learn a skill which is for life. So that's also something that interests me a lot, because being an analytical person, this is like a game or something that I want to learn and to master. And just this process of going through it and not letting the markets or the machine win me is something that is motivating me.
Absolutely. And I saw in here that you're an avid learner, because we'll get to that in a section, another section that you have here, which is, I think, is just incredible. The why is really important. Now, what kind of a consultant are you?
Marketing communications and strategy. I work in the cultural and creative sector.
Okay. That does not surprise me at all because once
Yes.
again, I'm going to keep bragging on you the whole time because like I said, I think this is the best trading plan I've ever seen in my life. And seriously, folks, if you were to look at this, you would think that you were looking at the vision and the structure of a Fortune 500 company. So the fact that you have already started this and you feel like you have your own business, which is what trading is, because we talk about that a lot, about treating it like it's your own business, you're on the right direction. So congratulations with that. The next section you go into is your mission statement, and talk a little bit about that. What helped you create this mission statement for you?
Yes, the mission statement is to create a life of freedom and independence for me and my family through trading. So yeah, this is what I want to achieve in the end, freedom and independence, which is not only financial. I think the money comes second in why I am trading. Yeah, so this freedom of not having to depend on clients or employers and have them if I want, but not needing them. That's what's guiding me.
Yeah. What I love the most about this is that it's one line, it's easy, it's very concise and to the point. There's no question about what you're doing here. And I think that's strong. I love it. Now, we're coming into one of my favorite parts of your trading plan. And I love this. So, what type of person am I? And then you have what sort of trader am I? Now, one of the things that I love the most about what you've done here is, and I'm guilty of this myself, a lot of traders tie who they are with their trading. And you have really managed to separate that and identify this is who I am as a person, this is who I am as a trader. And I think that is setting you up for some real success on a mindset basis to maintain that separation and realize that you as a trader, it doesn't affect you as a person, right? There's a separation. So what inspired you to do it this way?
Yeah, I think this came through Mike Serre, this person who was my mentor for several months, because he really took the time to understand who I was as a person, so he could guide me through the most appropriate way of trading. So he always taught me, you are like this is your personality, you are risk averse, you are strategic and analytical, so this is the type of trading that fits you the best. So it was, thanks to him and the questions that he was asking me, and that's how I work on this section of the plan.
Absolutely. And Dan and I were talking about that last week with Jeff about having a why and knowing what your why is and then having it in line with your personality so that your trading meets your personality, because otherwise if it's in conflict, you're just never going to follow your rules. So good for you. Like I said, it's just amazing. Your next section, my competitive advantage. Again, I like this, and weaknesses and remedies. Let's talk a little bit about what inspired you for that.
Yes. So I think this section I took from Tom Dante, who's a trader from the UK. And he talks about this. So I thought, I mean, in the end, in the market, you are competing against other traders, algorithms, professional traders, retail traders, etc. So what's setting me apart from all this competition? What makes me different? So I try to see in my way of being, way of thinking, and in the way that I was learning to trade, how I could be different to other people. So that was the competitive advantage. And then the weaknesses and remedies, this is something that I turn to very often, because I also have apart from my trading journal, I have like a mistakes journal, let's say, where I have all my mistakes, how many times I'm committing each one of those mistakes, and how I should solve them. So this part comes also from there. So some of my weaknesses and remedies, which are probably very common among other beginner traders: fear of losing my hard-earned capital, and not properly analyzing my trades and rushing into losing trades that I know from the beginning, or just, so those are a few of them. Then I have my worst trading mistakes, and this comes from the experience of learning to trade and see what are the mistakes that I'm making the most often.
Now, really, your competitive edge, you've really identified your strengths, and because there's going to be other people that have some of those same qualities as you, and yes, it might give you a competitive edge, but the fact of the matter, it's not necessarily that skill in particular that gives you the competitive edge. It's the fact that you're good at that skill. So figuring out what your strengths are. And the part that I like about your weaknesses, I love the fact that you put in remedies. And I have one more question for that. And that how often are you going to go back and reevaluate your weaknesses? Because if you have solutions for those weaknesses and you keep practicing overcoming them, eventually they aren't going to be your weaknesses anymore. You're going to have new weaknesses. So how often do you revisit that?
Yes. Exactly. I think this is what I sent to you was my second version. Okay. I'm now working on the third version because I'm in this learning process. So I read it every now and then and make changes. So it's constantly alive, let's say, and changing. At some point, I guess I won't need to make modifications so often.
Right.
I hope so.
No, I think you're on the right track. And just so you guys know, I mean, these are common fears or common weaknesses. We all struggle from these, like fear of losing, rushing into losing trades, let losses run. These are all things that we've all encountered. And I mean, Jose's taken it the next step further and identified a solution to the problem. That's key. And I just love that. Your worst trading mistakes, again, I love the fact that you are tracking that information because information is king. And the more information that you can track, that's how you come up with this kind of stuff. It's incredible. Frame of mind. You end that off. Now, is this something that you are needing to set yourself before you trade? Is that kind of what that means? This frame of mind?
Yes, exactly. Because I found myself trading in many occasions. I mean, the last few months were very hard for me. I was burned out at work, and I found myself trading when I was disappointed at work or I was just having some issues, and all those trades were always failing trades because you need to be calm and concentrated. And I was not. So this was what I took as a reference.
What do you do to get or make sure that you're in this frame of mind before you trade? What are some of your habits?
Yeah, I think, I would say I rather try to avoid when I am not in that state of mind. But there isn't anything that I do specifically to get into this mindset. So just avoiding not trading, I would say. But normally just I wake up and I check the markets and I have my routine, but there is nothing special. I don't meditate or exercise before trading or anything like that.
Have you read Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod?
Yes. I haven't read it, but I have heard about it. I know what it is about.
All right. Well, I'm going to challenge you to read that as your 41st book this year or whatever.
Yes.
All right. So it's a really good premise for getting into this kind of mindset. So starting your day off right,
Yes.
so that you can move in and be the most successful that you can be throughout the day.
Right.
So challenge you. It's a good read.
I will check it out.
Awesome. Now, section 2, we're talking about goals, objectives, and targets. And we start out with the goals, or you start out with the goals and objectives.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. You say, my goal is to become a successful professional trader. My next objectives are, and you've broken down your goal. So right now, you're not a successful trader. You're learning.
Exactly.
And your goal is to become a successful trader. So here's your 3 goals. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. What inspired you to do that?
Yeah, I think this comes from Mark Douglas and his book Trading on the Zone. I think it was in that book when I read for the first time this term, the successful professional trader, or the what was the expression exactly? I don't remember, but yeah, this was the inspiration. And then I mean, I'm a strategic consultant and very strategic person, and I always tend to break everything into 3 objectives. So that was the
Awesome.
inspiration. Yeah.
That's great. The next section you have is how will I grow, or how I will grow my account.
Yes.
Once again, you've got 5 steps
Yes.
on how you're going to grow your account. It's very strategic, easy to follow. You know when you've achieved each level.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You follow that up with financial targets and trading statistics.
Yes. And this is empty, actually. I mean, I have my targets, and then the version that you have is empty in terms of achievements.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. I just love the idea around it, because you've broken your financial targets for 2022 down into the week, the month, the quarter, and the year.
Yes.
So you have a benchmark to
Yes.
see whether you're on track or off track.
Exactly.
And that allows you the opportunities to tweak little things, right?
Yes.
I love it.
Exactly.
And then the
Yes.
statistics,
Yes.
you're including trades, your P&L, your win rate, your risk reward, and your expectancy. How are you calculating your expectancy?
The expectancy I calculated, now I don't know the formula exactly. I think it was winner trades times the amount, average, divided by losing trades times the average losing trade, something like that. But I took it from somewhere else. I don't know, a website.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Now, how does having the trading statistics help you?
Yeah, very much. I think, especially, I mean, the win rate is something that I had very much in mind in the beginning. Then I realized that it was not so important, that the R is much more important. But yeah, it has helped me definitely to be able to benchmark my performance with what I was doing before and seeing how I am progressing. Yeah. Yes.
Does it help you keep your expectations in line too?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay.
And I know
Wonderful.
when I'm trading well, for example, I have a target per trade of 2 Rs. So I know that in many occasions I have only 1.3, 1.5, apart from many which are negative. But when I go beyond 2, I know that it was a good trade.
Nice. That's awesome. And again, you end this section with my trading business.
Yes.
And I like this. Again, you have, these are steps. You're going to be a sole trader until you reach a certain target, and then you're going to open a limited company. I mean, this is just laid out, step by step of what you're going to do, including quitting your job, what you expect to have, and what you're going to do to create more growth in your market.
Exactly.
I think it's awesome. Section 3 is markets and tools. So this is where you kind of get a little bit more into the strategies that you're willing to use.
Yes. Yeah.
You define what markets you want traded.
Yes, this is something that has been changing a lot as I was learning, and specifically in the last couple of months, because I started the scalping, and then I realized that doesn't really fit with my personality and interest. I mean, I cannot spend hours and hours in front of the computer looking at the candles. I think I need to do something which is a bit more intellectually appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I move on from that into a more swing trading. But I have tried all of them, all the styles.
Good. Nice. You've even noticed or noted what markets you're going to observe and
Yes.
time frames.
Yes.
I like this too. You've even put in your trading schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Yes.
days you're going to schedule, what days you're
Yes.
going to take off.
Yes.
You never trade in the evenings. I love that.
Right.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yes. Because I was since I started with crypto, I was trading during the weekends also, and at some point my fiance was complaining, "You are all the time in front of the screen." So yeah, I found out that I needed to balance my life, and this could not be all my life. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are wondering, how do you follow all of these rules? What keeps you accountable for that?
Yes. I think it's been, I mean, I don't follow all of them all the time, but I try. And I think it's been through practice and repetition and making these things becoming a habit for me. It's not that I always check before trading, these are the rules and I need to respect them. But yeah, by looking from them from time to time, and yeah, or checking them when I make big mistakes, and then giving myself time to reflect on that. So yeah, I don't really know how the process is, but yeah, it happens organically or naturally in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think understanding who you are and clearly defining things that are in tune with who you are makes it a lot easier. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, right.
You've done, like I said, just a phenomenal job. And the next, I mean, you go into fundamental analysis, scanning tools, brokers, exchanges, and charting. It's just great.
Yes.
The next section you run into is money and risk management. And again, you get right into the general money management. You get into risk management. You even define your drawdown, which I think is great. So what happens when you reach your drawdown? If you reach your drawdown, what do you do?
Yeah, I take time to think about what hasn't been working, why I made the mistakes that I made, and I don't go back to trading until I feel confident again and that I have spotted the problems and at least I know how to tackle them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, I mean, right down to leverage risk. You've identified everything in here: journaling, realistic daily and weekly goal returns, even taxes. You've even put in a section on taxes.
Yes.
So I think that talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I mean, I live in Sweden, so here we pay a lot of taxes. We also get a lot of social benefits, etc. But yeah, the authorities are very strict with this. So that was my concern from the very beginning.
So you didn't get into trouble. You needed to make sure you had a plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How I'm going to track all the trades and then pay the taxes.
That's awesome. Awesome. And your next section is trading strategies. That's section 5. You've got a tactical portfolio. You've got a strategic portfolio, buy and hold, market setups. I think it's awesome. I don't want to get too much into this section here because we are running out of time. I do need to say goodbye to you. Yes. Jose, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Yes,
once again, I hope everybody has a chance to go to our website and check this out because it's inspirational, if not pure genius. And so I wish you all the best, and I hope I get an opportunity to spend some more time with you in the future.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure for me too.
Absolutely. And for all our listeners out there, thank you once again for listening to the Pivot Podcast. Remember to hit that like, hit that share, Share this podcast with others because we have some great information. And just a reminder, well, actually, by the time this airs, our contest for the last month has been over. So we will catch you next time on the Pivot Podcast.